wanna take it slow. Just wanna let you know. Ready to spend some time.
Alright guys, so I already started with my brows. Nothing's changed there. I went in with my precisely my brow, and you can see the clip playing next to me. I actually finished up another pencil, so that was what that face was about. Then I went ahead and cleaned it up with the NARS, what is this thing called? This is the Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Medium Dark 3 Amande. I went ahead, cleaned up my brows, so that's why they're looking all fleeky. And then I went ahead and set my brows with the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. And then my eyeshadow primer is the Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer that they have. It has a long name. I'll leave everything linked and listed down below, but I know those aren't drugstore, and they aren't new either. This is all about new drugstore makeup, so let's go ahead and get into that. So I have the NYX Plump It Right Back. This is their new primer that came out, one of the recent primers that they dropped. So let's go ahead and try this out. You see it's clear here, so my finger's there. Let's see if it feels like silicone. Oh, it actually might be like one of the gripping primers. If it is, I'll be happy, because I love me a good gripping primer. On the package, it just says it's a plumping serum with Avic electrolytes mix. So whatever that means, as a plumping serum, I do feel like it's a little tacky, so it might hold my foundation really good. So let me go ahead and apply my foundation real quick. And as I was gathering my things, I realized I don't have a new foundation from the drugstore. I did try out the e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation. I actually featured this in a reel video, so if you go back to a couple of my reels, it's the Get Ready With Me drugstore makeup, because I had so much that I haven't been testing, so I was like, I had to test it. So this is the shade Tan 450N, and to me it just comes off as a little gray. Like with e.l.f. complexion products, I just can't seem to get the right shade. So I do have one that's in the box. This one is 425N, but with this being 450N, if I don't like the way this looks, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like the way this looks. I ordered from the e.l.f. website. I'm not going to send it back. I'm just going to find somebody I can give that to. I'm actually going to use a drugstore foundation that I actually do like. So this is the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. Mine is in the shade 8.5 to 9.5. I'm not sure if this is going to be a good shade for me now either, because, you know, I'm a little more tan than I was when I was using this, but I do love this foundation. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I'm like halfway through the bottle actually, so I probably will be finishing that bottle up. I was supposed to go wet this sponge. This is the e.l.f. Cookies and Dream sponge. Let me go run and wet that. I actually bought two of those, so I have one wet now. I'll show you what it looks like dry compared to wet. Let's see how much of a difference it is. So we have a dry one here, and then we have the wet one here. My all-time favorite sponge is from e.l.f. Cosmetics. It's the red one. I don't have a clean one here. Oh, yeah, I do, because your girl has a 2-pack and backups right there. But that's the Total Face sponge that I always use. I have so many of those. And then also their Camo Concealer sponge. I love that one as well, which I don't have a clean one around. Oh, I also purchased this one. I should have used this today. But this is the e.l.f. Angled Silicone Face Sponge. The one that has silicone at the bottom. I have yet to use that. But anyway. So I'm just putting it right from the drop. Oh, y'all can't even see that. I put it right from the dropper right onto the sponge. And let's see. Hopefully it's still a good match for me. And sorry if I'm looking this way, guys. I don't have, as y'all can see, I don't have my regular setup. Sometimes when I just sit down and do these impromptu videos, I do like the way it comes out. Especially with, like, you know, just putting on makeup. Y'all are nice and up close. I don't have to do like the whole setup and the ring light and everything. And this light is pretty natural. I just have my mirror lights on, so you're basically getting like a true presentation of the colors. And I don't like to OD with foundation. That one dropper full of foundation was just enough to go all over, so I'm not even gonna apply anymore. But look at this tinted serum. I really like this stuff. It's not like the most coverage, and we'll deal with some new concealers that I picked up for that, but it does feel like a serum going on. It has hyaluronic serum, as a matter of fact, so you know that's a good skincare benefit to have. And I just think it does a good job at like making like an even skin tone, and the color actually isn't that off, even with me having just a little bit of a summer tan. Let's go ahead and move on to the eyes. I want to use this Colourpop press powder shadow. So this one is in the shade Coast is Clear. They came out with these palettes a couple of weeks ago, and I just haven't gotten a chance to use it as of yet. Here's a look at what those colors look like. This is just like a very neutral, kind of mauvey, purpley, pink, not pink, purpley, mauvey kind of situation going on. Let's see here. This is gonna be like more of a cool tone look, and I see there's only 2 mattes in this palette, these 2 right here. So I'm gonna start with this one in the crease, and then I'm gonna go into this one in like the outer V. This is a Refa 27 brush. It actually went on darker than I thought it would, but okay, let's keep rolling with it. Very cool tone brown shade, I like it. Now taking the Refa 26 on this deeper shade here. Oh, look how that picked up on the brush. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so we're gonna use this more for the outer V here. Let's go. Oh, look at that. That's like a chocolate brown. Oh, that's pretty. Alright, so that's what those first 2 shades look like. Let's see, what should we go for here now? I should have swatched the palette, right? I didn't even think about it. Let's swatch these shades real quick because I don't know what none of them look like. Oh, those 2 felt good. So that's the first 3. Okay, so that last one is more like a topper, but those actually, these 2 shades down there swatch really good actually. It felt really smooth when swatching. These shadows feel really good, guys. So there's the here's the next 3 shades here. Ignore my little mistake here, but 1, 2, 3 is the next 3 shades swatch, and those 3 are the last 3 swatches there. But these 2 is the ones I already have on my eye. That one right above it, this shade here, it's also kind of matte because when I swatch it, I don't see any of these glitters that I can see. So it has like those micro glitters throughout it, but I feel like if I was to put it in my crease and blend it out, I really wouldn't get those micro glitters. So I could have actually used that for my crease. Let me see if I can go ahead and blend that like on top just to lighten it up. So I'm taking this Refa 16. I'm gonna take that same shade and see how that shade would transform this look. I'm gonna, oh, okay. On my eye, I do see the micro glitters for sure, but it's okay. We're gonna just keep it moving. I like the shade though, cause it's like it's more in that purple family. So actually, I'm not mad at that. And these shadows are pretty pigmented, guys. You know, Colourpop can be hit and miss, so that's why I like to try these palettes, but I can't get every palette that Colourpop releases now. You know, they stay releasing some stuff. But I do like the hint of purple that shadow gave it. And as I continue to blend, the there's still a little bit of a sheen there, but it's not sparkly. I don't know, can y'all see? I like it. I like it, I'm not mad at it. Everything else in the palette looks pretty shimmery, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply some NYX glitter glue. Try to help with the fallout. Taking the Refa 21, you guys know I just love my Refa brushes for my eyes. I'm going to take that shade there in the middle. I like the way that's swatched, and this is more like that putty kind of texture, like a super shot. Can y'all see when I'm putting my brush in there? You can see how it kind of moves. So it's like that super shot kind of formula, but I'm actually digging that. Next, I'm going to take the shade that's right above it. These have shade names. Well, I'll put it on the screen so you guys know the shade names, but I'm so used to pointing to everything. I'm going to take the shade right above it, and I'm going to put that in the inner third of my eye. This one has a little bit more texture, so got my trusty Mario Badescu spray here. I'm going to spray that before I apply it. That was a little powdery. I don't know. I'm going to go on top of this shade because I see the sparkles on the eye. I just don't really like the texture of it going on. It feels a little powdery, especially I guess compared to that Super Shock that I used. Let's see. I'm going to take the shade right next to it. I'm going to go on top of that shade and see what it gives. And that one is also looking a little chalky and textured, but let's see. At first I was all for it, but oh, that's pretty. I like that one. Alright, so I like this shadow better. I'm gonna take my finger in that Super Shock. Alright, you guys, so this is where we're at now. I went ahead and did the other eye. I'm so tempted to use this shade because it's swatched like a beautiful green. Look at that, like a silvery green almost. I'm kind of tempted to do that in the inner corners, but I'm gonna do my face and then we'll come back to the palette when we do the bottom lashes and figure out what we're gonna do. I used 6 out of 9 of the shades, and I would say about 3 or 4 of them was okay. Those matte shades, I really like the shade that I didn't even think was a matte. I really like that one, and that's what I went in my crease with more, just to bring more of that purple color. The chocolate brown, it doesn't show up as chocolate as it originally does once you actually blend it out. Actually, let me go ahead and add a little bit more, because I feel like the eyeshadow really overpowered that. Like, it goes on, look how deep it goes on, but then like once you blend it out, it doesn't stay that deep. I don't think I'm gonna do liner or lashes today, but I do have this new well, it's not new, it's actually been in my stash, but this is the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Stretch and Strengthen Mascara. I actually had the original Exhibitionist, and it was a pretty cool mascara. To me, it was more like an everyday mascara. It wasn't like the blackest mascara, but it did decent. So here's what it looks like out of the package. Let's go ahead and use this mascara on my top lashes and see what this does. Here's a look at the wand. That looks promising, so let's go ahead and apply that. Oh, I do have some fallout on my face from that chocolate brown, but only on this side. I see like a couple of specks over here, but more over here, so I must have went in. The wand is kind of hurting my eyes though, I ain't gonna front. It's kind of a little spiky, and I don't know why, because it looks more like, but you can kind of see that it has like longer bristles than in other places, so I think that's what's catching my eyelids. But my eyes are like super sensitive, so I don't know if this is gonna be my go-to one. I feel like the brush from the original one was a little bit more brushy, like actual softer bristles. This did give a lift and lengthen, and it's actually deepening up too on this second coat, so it's not so bad. It just kind of hurts putting it on. I mean, I'm not wowed by the mascara, but you can definitely see that I added mascara to my eyes. Before I started, I did apply this Tree Hut Sugar Scrub. What is this? This is their lip butter, Nourish and Renew. It feels really good going on. It's like a thinner texture. It's thick and thick at the same time. Like, it's called a butter, so it is real like slippery, but I feel like my lips are dry and it went away already. So I'm gonna try this little thing here. It says this is Juice Gloss Electrolyte Infused Color Strawberry Flex. Let's try this, since that was part of that little free gift that Ulta sent over. So it has this kind of applicator. Ooh, this smells like that artificial back in the days kind of lip glosses, but it feels really good on the lips. So this actually might do better than this. So let's see. I'll keep you guys posted, but I just wanted to moisturize my lips again because they was feeling dry. Right before I started filming, I literally just put this on, so I don't know if this one is going to be a fave. Now let's continue with this complexion. I have 3 of the NYX Bear With Me shades here, and I actually did use one. I used the shade Deep Golden. If you saw the reel that I was telling you guys about with the Drugstore products, you see that I used this, and I really like this concealer, guys. So I'm going to swatch all 3 of these shades just so you can see it. So again, this one is in the shade Deep Golden. That's Deep Golden. That one there in the middle is Sand, which is gonna be too light for me, but it can serve as like a lighter highlighter. And then this last one here is Camo, which looks like it would be like kind of similar, close to my skin tone. Being that I pumped these out, trust and believe I'm about to mix these and apply it on my skin. Just gonna take the sponge that I used. I didn't use this with a sponge yet, so I'm curious to see how this is gonna sit, because I really loved it with the brush that I used, but I'm not trying to dirty no brushes. Hopefully seeing those swatches was helpful, and I'll post a picture of the swatches on my community tab just so you guys can have that to reference. But does that not look good, guys? That concealer is so good. So this is one of the products that I did try, and I'm just dipping my sponge back in there. Ooh, I put too much. Want a little bit more coverage above my mouth as always, when do I don't? And I'll take some of that up the bridge of my nose into the center of my forehead. Oh, by doing this, I remembered I have that cream bronzer too. Let me grab that. So I have this NYX Wonderstick. Now, I don't use this side here with this highlighter. That's a swatch of the highlighter. It's just too yellow gold for me, and I'm not really a fan of yellow gold. But y'all know me, I love a good cream bronzer, so I definitely do like this part, like this side. It blends out so nicely. So let's go ahead and apply some of that. And I think I used a brush for this last time too. I'm telling you, I'm not trying to dirty no brushes today. So I'm just gonna take the same sponge I've been using on this whole video and go ahead and blend that out. But it blends so easily, so I can't see it not working with a sponge. I actually usually prefer to blend out my creams with sponges, but I've been really into my brushes lately, and see how easy that blended out? Like, that NYX Wonderstick is everything. And I'm just going back on the back of my hand with some more of that concealer just to clean up this little nose situation. Blended out so good, guys. That is a good little affordable. Well, NYX ain't that affordable, guys. I think that thing is probably like $11.99, something like that. So I usually buy NYX either when they're giving out free gifts, or if they like they buy one get one half off, something like that at Ulta. I gotta get a deal, a coupon or something, because these drugstore products ain't like they used to be. Oh y'all, speaking of concealer, I did pick up 2 of the e.l.f. Camo concealers. I used to love these, and then they came out with the hydrating one. To me, the hydrating one was way more hydrating, but it didn't have the coverage that this one has. So being that I love me some coverage, I went ahead and picked these up again. I went with the shade Deep Chestnut. Then I did get a lighter shade, Deep Caramel, but I don't like the way this feels no more, guys. It felt heavy, it felt thick, like I don't know, it wasn't the concealer for me. So I'm kind of disappointed that I actually repurchased them. I might go for the hydrating one now that I know I don't mind lighter coverage. Oh, I did set underneath my eyes with my Holy Grail. If you saw my best of 2022 video so far, you wouldn't already know what powder that is. So I went ahead and set underneath my eyes. But to set all over my face, I am gonna take this e.l.f. Camo in the shade Tan 450, and let's see if I have a better. Now it's super powdery. Let me spray my face first. When I used a more concentrated brush using this e.l.f., like the coverage is everything. The coverage really is everything on this powder, so I can see why so many people like it. But again, like I said earlier in the video, I just always have such a hard time with the shades on e.l.f. products for me. I just always do. So that's why their complexion products don't usually work out for me. But I just wanted to put a light dusting of this powder and see how it works more for setting rather than just the actual powder foundation. And I'm using a BK Beauty 102 brush for this. So this is, you see it has movement on it, so it's not like concentrating the powder so much. But if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to grab another brush, which this is a flat top foundation from Tweezerman. I remember when they sent me this too. I can go ahead and put some of that if I want to concentrate this powder somewhere. So like in these smaller areas where I want to get a little bit more concentrated, I can go ahead and do that if I need to. Like that bump, you see the coverage? The coverage is there. So if you need to add some extra coverage, this e.l.f. powder is where it's at, if you can get your right shade. Now, super excited about the bronzers. Finally, Ulta had brought these in stores. If y'all saw in the haul, I did pick up this one, which was in the shade Dark. And I wasn't sure if this one was gonna work for me, so there was another day that I went to Ulta and I went ahead and picked up Deep Dark. Let's try Dark first and see what this is gonna give me. Actually, I will swatch it for you guys. So that's what Dark looks like. So that'll be like more natural. It's actually showing up, but that could be also because I have the cream underneath. So Dark may be the one to go for, but it's looking a little, this might not have been the right brush to use. I should have used, I could have used my Niji Pro, but trust me, it's coming. This might not be the best brush, but like I said, I'm not trying to dirty up too many brushes, cause a mess. I actually have some brushes in the kitchen that I need to wash right now. So it shows up, but again, like I said, it could be because I had that cream underneath. It shows up, but I feel like I went a little bit too far down. It's like a little muddy, so I'm just gonna take this sponge and try to go over up under here, clean it up a little bit. I don't know if I like the tone of it though, because it's coming off a little gray. I don't know, but let's move on to blush. I do have this Colourpop pressed powder blush. This one is in the shade Forever Yours. Super bright compared to everything else that's on the face, but We're gonna make it do what it do. Just grabbing a little, this is a Coastal Scents brush. I remember Coastal Scents, but this is one of my favorite brushes. This is the BRC S24. I don't know, is Coastal Scents even still around? Oh, okay, so it looks super pigmented there, but very subtle on the cheeks. Oh, but it builds up. Let me do a bit on this side so you guys can see, because I know I'm steady looking in the mirror. So see, it builds up. And this one is not giving me like super kickback too. So I like this formula. It builds up really nicely, and it'll probably look better without that bronzer. I don't know about that bronzer color though. It's not a red, it's not like red, it looks more neutral. So, you know, me and neutral bronzers just don't mix sometimes. To me, I feel like it's more like a shadow, so it's more giving me more contour than it is bronzer. But, you know, it's all good. Throw a little bit of what's left on my nose, give that little stupid sun kiss look that they be doing. I think I put too much. Oh, I also have a e.l.f. Big Mood sample here, and I love this. I really like this mascara. I went through a whole tube of it like when it first came out, and I got a free one in an e.l.f. order that I did. So I'm gonna go on top of that CoverGirl. Let me spray my face because I feel like I'm looking a little powdery and chalky. There's like no glow, and y'all know I live for my glow. Oh, taking another one of my favorites that I had featured in that best of 2022 so far. This is the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Veil Mist. For finishing powder, I went ahead and grabbed this e.l.f. finishing powder that they have. This was in my stash. This is not new to me, but I just want to go over everything and make it nice and seamless. Y'all know this is a step that I always do. I always go over all my stuff with some kind of powder. And this is a finishing powder that I do like. I need to finish up the eyes, so I'm just gonna take a small brush here. One of my favorite under eye brushes. This is the Wayne Goss 07 brush. I'm gonna take this deep shade that we used on the outer V. I'm gonna take that towards the outer corner, and then I'm going to blend it out with that first shade there. So to apply the darker color, I am going in with a rougher 03 brush. And I feel like that color faded again. Like, it has a nice blend, but I also feel, you seen that I went ahead and reapplied this shade. I feel like it kind of like fades away. Okay, so I went ahead, added more of that mascara. I remember why I did like the Big Mood mascara, but I also do remember as I was applying it that it does make a mess because I do have some black spots up there. I'll clean that up when it dries. I also mentioned to you guys that I was thinking about putting that in the corners, and I definitely did, and it just gives it that pop, brings that light into the center of the face. So I like that. Also realized I did not swatch the deeper bronzer for you guys, so let's do that real quick. So here is the deeper shade of bronzer. See, I might have liked that better. So down here you have the dark, and then this one is deep dark. So dark and deep dark in the L'Oreal Infallible Bronzer. I think with this look, this shade would be nice. I do have tons of lip products here. You guys know I've been testing out the This is Milky. Oh, maybe I should use this. This one is one of my favorite. Yeah, Strawberry Horchata. I like this one. I have some of those. But I also have this L'Oreal, I never remember the name of this, but it's like a balm and gloss, they call it. I think I'm gonna use this, guys. And that I don't hear nobody talking about this. To actually get me getting this free, this was the first time I seen this, but this is Juice Gloss. I like it because it's nice and smooth, and it also feels hydrating and moisturizing on the lips, so I'm not mad at that. But I'm gonna take this L'Oreal Balm and Gloss, and I have this one in the shade, this is number 120 Rose Harmony. Let's see how this looks. I'm doing it with no lip liner first. I think this matches perfectly with the eyes. What y'all think? Because it's like that mauvey kind of color. So it's in that purpley family. I like. And I like the formula of these. I have another shade. I picked one of these like bright shades. And I have another shade somewhere in my stash. But anyway, I did pick this bright shade because I swore I was going to be, you know, bright for the summer. But this one works perfectly with this look. So I'm going to keep it here. And here is my final look. All new drugstore products. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Any of these products that y'all interested in, you want more information on, if you want to see another look with this Colourpop palette. I'm not mad at this Colourpop palette at all, actually. I really like the way the colors on the lids, especially those lid shade. That Super Shock Shadow, I'm really feeling that. This Colourpop blush, I kind of feel like it's like almost like disappeared. And y'all saw that I did, you know, layer it up a couple of times. So let's see. Sometimes I do end up putting more blush after I do my finishing powder just because I feel like the blush was taken away. So in this case, that's exactly what happened. But it's not like the best matching blush for this look anyway, but I do like it. So rundown on the products. I just spoke to you guys about the eyeshadow palette. I feel like it did a decent job of creating this look. The only problem is that chocolate brown, I just feel like it kind of fades away. It does add a little bit of depth out there, but I still feel like it fades away. You don't really see the chocolate brown as you blend it out. That taupey gray shade, I did like that for a transition, but once I found out I could use that over it, that purpley shade, I think it just brought everything together. That shade there I wasn't really a fan of. I didn't like the way it felt going on, but applying that one on top of it kind of saved the day, so I'm not mad at it. And then that beautiful inner corner shade I really liked. This COVERGIRL Exhibitionist Strengthen Mascara, I would say go for the original Exhibitionist mascara because this one kind of hurt. It pokes your eyes as you're applying it and kind of hurts. So the other, I didn't have that experience with the original one, so I would stick with that. This plumping serum and primer from NYX. I don't know how much plumping it did on my face, but it did feel like a little bit like a gripping powder primer to me, and I think everything laid on top of it really nicely and smoothly. So I just love little minis like this because I really hardly ever buy new primers. I just love trying out primers like this, so thanks NYX. Actually, NYX came through because you guys know how I feel about this NYX WONDERSTICK. This contour cream bronzer, really like that. Something that I've been using ever since I used it a couple of weeks back and really enjoy. These L'Oreal bronzers I have to give more of a try because as I cleaned up underneath, it doesn't look so bad, and especially putting the blush on top of it, it went on really smoothly. I just wasn't a fan of the actual shade in deep, which I kind of knew I was going to be, which is why I went back for dark deep. So I'll try this in a different video. Definitely will keep you guys posted on that. I spoke to you guys briefly about these e.l.f. concealers that I'm no longer feeling. This Colourpop blush was so cute. Again, this one is in the shade Forever Yours. You know I purchased it for packaging, right? Definitely purchased it for packaging, but I think it is good, and especially for the summertime and even going into fall, because it doesn't go on ultra bright like it looks here in the pan. It actually looks really good on my cheeks. So I think this is like one or two of the brown girl friendly shades that they have, and I'm happy that I have that. Y'all already know I love these NYX Bear With Me concealer serums. This is a really good concealer. You guys saw the swatches of the 3 shades that I have. I mixed them together, so I couldn't tell you what shade I have on right now, but I do like this combination. Oh look, and also in that little set that they have a NYX Plump Finish setting spray. So let's try this. Ooh, that's one thing about NYX sprays. I don't use them because they're like aggressive, guys. They be spraying hard. But that was a little cooling on the skin, I'll tell you that. And it says plump finish. What the hell kind of finish is supposed to be a plump finish? I don't know what a plump finish is supposed to be, but I'm just gonna went ahead and applied it. I can't give you no thoughts on that because I don't know much about it. And then of course, the foundation that I went in wasn't nude, but I do love this. This is the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. And I went on top of that with the e.l.f. powder foundation. And actually, I do like this powder foundation in the manner that I used it in today. I can't see me using it as a powder foundation only because I don't like the color of it. But on top of this foundation, it actually did go well. So, am I forgetting anything? Oh, the sponge. I used a new sponge, which I love the e.l.f. sponges. It felt just like the other e.l.f. sponges that I use. So happy to have purchased those. Got more in my, you can always use more sponges, and who doesn't love a $5 sponge, right? So that was definitely a good look. The e.l.f. Big Moon Mascara came in to save the day because I feel like my lashes do look a little bit better with me adding that on top of it. Even though I did dirty up right here, but I'll clean that up in a little bit, so don't be all up in my face, y'all. But yeah, I think that is it. If I left anything out and you have any questions, just ask me down in the comment section below. I'll get right back to you. KSquad, thanks so much for tuning in. Taking time out of your day to come chill with me, get ready with me, testing out new drugstore makeup. I'm gonna go ahead and pop up some videos for you guys to check out in case you missed a couple of my recent uploads. If you're new here, you can go ahead and hit my face, subscribe, and join the KSquad. I would love to have you, and I hope to catch each and every one of you on the next video. Until next time, y'all, stay blessed. Later, guys.